Hi, and welcome to day 3 of Intro to Trig. Today's work is mostly calculator work, and you need to make sure you have at least a scientific, if not a graphing calculator. And one of the buttons we'll be using on the calculator is if you are in the graphing calculator, it would be DMS, degrees, minutes, seconds. And if you're using a scientific calculator, it's TI, you're probably looking for something that has the degrees, minutes, and seconds on the button itself. This degrees, minutes, second is in the angle menu, and I will show you all of that work in class. So the one thing we need to be careful is to make sure that our calculator is in the degree mode. If it's not in degree mode, then all of your answers are going to be wrong. The graphing calculator's default mode is radians, not degrees. So therefore, if you don't change your mode to degrees, then you're going to get every answer incorrect. So if I were to type in 17 degrees, the sine of 17 degrees, I would get 0.2924. We always round these out to 4 decimal places. This goes back to when we weren't able to use calculators and we used a chart, and they did everything to 4 decimal places to make sure we were accurate. The sine of 37 degrees 17 minutes would be 0.6018. The tangent of 22 degrees 43 minutes would be 0.4187. The cosine of 82 degrees 3 minutes and 15 seconds will be 0.1392. And finally, the sine of negative 150 degrees is equal to a negative 0.5000. Just kind of keeping with the 4 decimal places. Again, all you have to do with those is type it into the calculator and write down your results. For part 2, find the angle to the nearest minute. Well, when I type this into the calculator, I will use second cosine. And when I do that, I will get angle A equals 8.84795,141. And then on my calculator, I'm going to look for the degrees, minutes, second button in the angle menu. And the degrees, minutes, seconds will help convert it for me. When I put it into degrees, minutes, seconds, I'm going to get 8 degrees, 50 minutes, 52.63 seconds. When I'm rounding to the nearest minute, 8 degrees, 50 minutes, I look here. Okay, we think of degrees, minutes, and seconds. The minutes and seconds are every bit like time. So it's not when you get to 0.5 that you round up. It's actually when you get past 30 you round up, because 30 seconds is a half of a minute. Therefore, you have 60, you break it in half. Anytime you get past 30 seconds, you round up to the next minute. So in this case, I have 52 seconds. So my final answer is 8 degrees, 51 minutes. If I do tangent of A is equal to 1.0517, again, it's the second tan, and then I would get angle A equals 46.443469. And again, I need to hit the DMS button. And when I do that, I will get 46 degrees, 26 minutes, 36.5 seconds. This is more than 30, therefore I round up to 46 degrees, 27 minutes. And then finally, cosine of A equals 0.9621. Again, second cosine. And I get angle A equals 15.82481033. And when I go to put this into degrees, minutes, and seconds, I'd get 15 degrees, 49 minutes, 29.3 seconds. 29 is less than 30, therefore I stay at the 49 minutes. So it'd be 15 degrees, 49 minutes for my final answer. Again, all calculator work, I will show you how to input it on the calculator in class. We have a little bit of review here. Remember, 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees. This is also 360 degrees. This is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. This is all. This would be sine. This would be tangent. And this would be cosine. Remember our saying, all students take calculus. And remember this symbol here is theta. And theta just represents the angle. Everything is in the form of xy. And mathematicians are kind of crazy. They like to do everything in alphabetical order. So cosine theta, sine theta. And we also learned that the tangent of theta is equal to sine theta divided by cosine theta, which is just y over x. Right. On the unit circle, the measure of angle ROP is theta, OR is 1, and P is -2 radical 6 5 1/5, or radical 6 over 5, and then 1/5. We define the sine of theta, the cosine theta, and the tan of theta. Remember, I just did on the page before this, x and y. Sine is y, cosine is x. We do everything in alphabetical order. So y is 1/5, so that means the sine of theta is 1/5. The cosine is my x value at a point, so that means my x value is -2 radical 6 over 5. And then the tangent is sine over cosine, or y over x, so it's 1/5 over a -2 radical 6 over 5. Well, that's all fine and dandy, except we cannot have a complex fraction. So multiply by the denominator, which is 5. So the 5's cancel out, so you're left with 1 over a -2 radical 6. But you know we can't have a radical in the denominator, so we have to rationalize. So we'll negative radical 6 over 2 times 6, which is 12. And finally, for the last one, the measure of angle ROP is 315 degrees. R is the point 10, and P is the point radical 2 over 2, negative radical 2 over 2. So find the sine of 350 degrees. Remember, this has not changed from the last problem. Sine is y. So in this case, it is -√2 over 2. Cosine is x. So it's radical 2 over 2. And then tangent is y over x. So this is equal to negative radical 2 over 2 over radical 2 over 2. Multiply everything by 2, denominators. So we're left with negative radical 2 over radical 2, which is just simply negative 1 when I'm all done. Alright, that's it for today's notes. Make sure you have your calculator in class.